it's okay to be scared before you go because that's so natural. And I was shit scared, I tell you. And I had everyone telling me, don't do it. I've got Polish parents, so they're quite direct. Don't do it. Why are you doing this to us? They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kidnap you. Like, oh my God, like why you have to do this, right? So I had everyone like my friends never done it, so they were worried about me too. So I had to literally push through everyone being negative about it. And I'm like, that's it, I'm doing it. I have to do it. I have to do it now, right? Yeah, so this is the first advice. It's okay to be scared. And trust me, once you're on the road, everything just fall into place and everything becomes really easy. Like traveling is so easy. If you have the positive mindset, everything's gonna be okay.
Hey, adventurer! I'm Bridget Hallam from Throw Your Leg Over, and I am really thrilled today to be chatting to Kinga Tanajewska. Now, you might know Kinga as on her bike. She has been riding around the world on her motorbike Chile for over 9 years now.
Yeah, Josh, we're gonna have 9 years anniversary in a few days in a week.
Fabulous. I love it. You've ridden on 5 continents.
Yeah, I'm the sixth one now, yeah.
Brilliant. And Kinga has also created over 700, yes, over 700 videos on YouTube.
Did I?
Yes. But the most amazing thing is that she has fabulous hair.
Oh, stop it. You're my best friend today.
So, hello, Kinga. Now, you left Australia back in 2017 to ride solo around the world, which isn't something that you decide every day. So I'm wondering what sparked that idea and how did you make the decision of I'm doing it?
Look, for me to actually make that call, my life had to fall apart, and I think it's actually quite common story for solo riders, like the ones that I meet on the road, please. That something traumatic happened in our life for us to just like, that's it, we're leaving everything behind and we're going, right? So for me, my first solo adventure was in Australia in 2013 and 14. I went around Australia on my solo on my motorcycle, and that was the moment when I realized how much I love solo traveling, and that solo traveling is definitely for me. And the reason for that, why I went solo, was I was married at the time, and my husband didn't like ride, and no one wanted to go with me. So I'm like, that's it. I'm just gonna go by myself. And I realized how easy that is, and that actually this is something that I'm really into. So then, such life, I'm a civil engineer working in Western Australia in the mines, so like in Sydney, like, just corporate world. I'm calling it washing machine because, I work 12 hours per day, like extremely stressful job. I manage a lot of people at the end of my career. And then in 2016, I had a head-on collision with a car. I was on my bike, the one that I went around Australia with, and I broke my hand, broke my leg. I had a blood clot in my lung, and I had massive post-traumatic stress. Truly, that was the worst. Injuries were nothing comparing to that really, devastating effect on your brain. And I had to learn how to ride a motorcycle again. My body was so seized, so frozen that I could not even turn on a motorcycle. Like literally, I have to learn how to ride again. And I'm riding since I'm 16, so that's all I know. I'm like a true. This is my identity. You know what I mean? This is who I am, a rider. Since I remember, like I was always into bikes, even as a teenager. In Poland back in the day. But so this happened. So now I have post-traumatic stress, injuries, extremely stressful job. Like I had meltdowns at work, like literally a phone call, and I had complete meltdown. I crawl under my desk, and that's it. I cannot do this job anymore. So then, of course, they moved me to another role. I didn't have to manage 150 people and answer 100 phone calls per day. But then my husband left me, and that I was not expecting. And that really was the last nail to the coffin. I suffered from depression. I was treated for depression. Everything just went shambles. I'm telling you, like my life completely fell apart. Everything was really important for you, your career, your relationship, your health, your passion, flipping everything. So that was it. But in Australia, I don't know how it's now, but back in the day, you get a lot of money for the injuries when you when you're injured in a car motor vehicle accident, right? So I got a quite good payout. And 10 months later, after all, the accident happened, I'm like, you know what? I have no husband to hold me down. I have the money now. Job can wait. This is now or never moment because I always wanted to. That was my dream to travel overland, at least from Australia to Poland. That has that 4 months that I can just get there and travel overland, like truly out of Australia, solo. And but then look at me, I'm 9 years and I'm not done yet. So yeah, this is what happenens.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I can hear just through your voice that you just love this solo travel.
I do.
I want to know what, and this might be an impossible question, I don't know, but what do you love most about it?
Okay. I think solo traveling is the best way of seeing the world because you are so approachable. So people will come and talk to you. If you're traveling in a group, you no one will talk to you because there's too many bikes, too many people. The locals won't even come and talk to you. But especially when you're a woman, there's something that people want to look after you. Like they think. And I don't know, like probably if that was a solo man, like they probably wouldn't come and talk to you. But because you're a woman, you're so much more approachable. You get to experience, especially for example, in the Middle East. Let's take the Middle East, right? If you're traveling as a solo man, women won't talk to you because that's the culture, right? But if you're a woman, you get to take to women, get to talk to women and men, and it's just I feel like it's just you experience so much more when you're traveling by yourself. But the thing is, you really need to like your company, and I do. I'm a social butterfly. I need both. I love meeting people and be social, and then I love that being in a remote places where I camp in the middle of nowhere and I'm just by myself. And I love those moments as well. So I crave for them. For me, if you ask me what are my favorite places on earth, they will be the most remote ones where I was riding for days and I hardly saw any people. And that's why I love Australia so much because you get to do that, especially when you're riding on the edge of the rain season in Northern Territory. Like there's no one, only like grey nomads every now and then passing you like once in blue moon, and you're like, oh my God, a car is coming. You wave. But yeah, so we have, you can experience that in Australia. We're very lucky like that because for me, Australia is home. That's why I say we. And yeah, so I think once you experience it, I think it's very addictive, and I cannot stop. I can't see myself, if I'll finally will be like people ask me, oh, you probably should get in a relationship with a rider. Like, hell no, like rider, yes, but no travelers. Like, no, I cannot be with travelers because they want to go with me. I don't want anyone to go with me. At this stage of my life, I prefer like all my relationships that I had on the road they actually were people who were flying in and meeting me, you know what I mean? And then, okay, see you later. I have my freedom back. It was great. It was always a honeymoon. It was great. Like the best relationships I have. But yeah, like I just love it. And I'm with Chile. Chile is the only stability I have. For 9 years we're now on the road, and she's in great shape. She's got nearly 200,000 on kilometers. She's been so reliable. It's just two of us against the world. And I don't know. I think I'll be in South America for another 3 years, and then I'll see if I want to continue, or maybe it will be time to go back to Australia. Because truly, after I finish this, I want to go back to Australia. I've seen a lot of countries, but still, Australia is my home and number one.
I wonder though if, and I'm loving everything that you're saying there about solo travel, and definitely I can see how people would approach you as a single woman, maybe out of curiosity.
Absolutely, yes. And we don't have egos. Yeah, we like people like women are much softer. Like, we're more approachable than that for sure.
Yes. The thing when Alan and I are traveling in Europe, we have our Australian registration plate on our bike, and that sparks people's curiosity. You can see them looking at it and they sort of wander over and say, "Where are you from?" And I love it. I love it when we get to chat to the local people. That for me is one of the things I love most. But I'm wondering on the flip side of that, when you are spending so much time on your own, which you love, but I imagine there are moments where it does get a little bit lonely. And I'm wondering, does that happen often and how do you manage it?
Okay, it doesn't happen often. You know when it happens? When I'm by myself on my birthday or Easter or Christmas. And that actually only literally I'm single for 2 years and that only happened now because before I was always in a relationship. So I would be, with my partner at the time. So now, for the very first time, I experience loneliness. Like sometimes, very, very rarely, because you know why I don't so often? Because I have a second purpose, and that's filming, editing, and being connected on my social media, replying to all the messages. That is tremendous amount of work, and that keeps me so focused and so distracted from, oh, maybe I should, like, if I didn't have that, I would think I would be lonely a lot. Like I would feel that loneliness. But because I'm so busy, I don't have the time to be lonely. So I think it's important to have traveling is wonderful. And if it's like 3, 4 months, yeah, you do it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Like you'll be fine. But if you go for years, I think it's important to have that second purpose, documenting or writing a diary or like have something um that will distract you and also like will push you to actually explore more. If I didn't have my YouTube channel, probably I'd be too lazy to go to some of the places. I'd be like, I don't feel like it today. But because like, oh, it will be a good content. Kinga, go, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be enjoying. Like, okay, so I have to motivate myself. And that gives me that kick. So I think it's important to have something. Is it photography? Is just for yourself, for your friends, or for social media? I'm not saying you have to be big on social media, but have that something secondary that is just not traveling.
How important is it for you to be creative?
Well, it's important because this is how I make money, right? I'm sponsored by 7 brands at the moment. I make money on YouTube, so this turned into my full-time job as a content creator. So it's very important. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm so burnt out. I have nothing. I can't do it. So once a year, I have a 2 months break. So I travel now 10 months and 2 months break. But it's not really a break. I go to Europe or Australia, depends. I tend to go back to Australia every second year, Poland every year. But because every time I'm in Europe, I have so many presentations. I'm going from one event to another, and the music festivals and family holidays. And you're just like, seriously, I have more rest on the run than I have on my on my break. But at least I'm not riding so much, and that's very important. And what my brain rest is when I'm in a familiar place. So Australia is familiar to me, Poland is familiar to me. I catch up there with my friends and family, and this is where my brain doesn't have to constantly analyze where am I, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to sleep. You know what I mean? Like constantly, like my brain is on high revs all the time. Every day I wake up in a new place nearly, right? Like sometimes I'll stay for a few days, but you know what I mean? I hate doing the roads that I've done. Like if I have to go in and out somewhere, I really think deeply about it. Even if it's 10K, I'm like, is it really worth it to go 10Ks and back? I don't know. So for me, it's preferably just continuously going to the unknown. I'm addicted to that, right?
I love what you're saying about having a purpose, though, because
It's important.
I agree. If it's just about the riding, if it's just about the travel,
You get bored. You get bored after a while.
yeah, it becomes quite a wonderful experience, but in a way like a narrow experience.
Yeah. If it's just for a month or 2 or 3, it's okay. You're gonna enjoy it, but not for years. It's not enough. You have to have something else.
You're right. So you're riding alone, you rarely have a buddy, and I know that you love to camp. What are your safety strategies as a woman camping alone?
Okay, so really depending on the continent, right? Uh, but my basic, if it comes to wild camping, is out of sight, out of mind. So in Africa, like there are certain countries where they just, you think, in the middle of nowhere, but the moment you stop your bike, like for example, in Ethiopia, like, oh, there'll be 20 people around you from where you have no idea. They're just there. There's no way I'm gonna camp like that, right? Like there's just too many people and they just they'd be like sitting, just looking at you, like there's no privacy, So of course, in the countries like this, I just go to the campgrounds, if it's impossible. But if it's a remote area like Australia, Canada, like even here in Venezuela, I was going through the savannah, the beautiful region, and I was just camping on the side of the road, like off-road road, not man-made road. So I love it. So yeah, my basic rule is out of sight, out of mind. And I got only once in travel, and that was in 2017 in Azerbaijan, where actually it was a very close call because two guys, they knew where I was and they came in the middle of the night and surrounded my tent. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the moment, hey. But they weren't brave enough to get into my tent. So, but I was like literally like, two hands up, and I was waiting. Like you have a tent that's got two entrance exits, two doors. So anyway, so I'm thinking if they're gonna unzip this side, I'm just gonna quickly unzip this one and just run into the forest as fast as I can, barefoot, just in undies, just run and run and run. So that was my plan because I didn't even have actually pepper spray. I didn't even have that. I had nothing in the first year of my travels. I remember one overlander when I was hosting him in Sydney. I said to him, "Do you have any weapons?" Because he came from the UK to Australia overland, and he goes, "Kinga, if you think you need a weapon on a trip like this, maybe you should never go." And he was ex-military, right? I'm like, yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough, mate. Like, I don't need a weapon. I didn't even take a pepper spray. And I was regretting I didn't have a pepper spray because that would give me a peace of mind. You know what I mean? That's something so simple that you just spray and just run. And I had nothing. So absolutely carry a pepper spray just for the peace of mind.
So, Kinga, as a very, very well experienced solo traveler, what would you share or what advice would you give for a woman who might be considering a solo adventure?
Well, firstly, I would say it's okay to be scared before you go because that's so natural. And I was shit scared, I tell you. And I had everyone telling me, don't do it. I've got Polish parents, so they're quite direct. Don't do it. Why are you doing this to us? They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kidnap you. Like, oh my God, like why you have to do this, right? So I had everyone like, and people in Australia, my friends never done it, so they were worried about me too. So I had to literally push through everyone being negative about it, and I'm like, that's it. I'm doing it. I have to do it. I have to do it now, right? Yeah, so this is the first advice. It's okay to be scared. And trust me, once you're on the road, everything just fall into place and everything becomes really easy. Like traveling is so easy. If you have the positive mindset, everything's gonna be okay. If you are negative and you're whinging and you're complaining and you're expecting, I don't things to be done for you, you might as well stay home because things got to be very, very hard for you. And I've seen it over and over and over. Like all these travelers that are negative, they just have dramas all the time. But the ones who stay with the positive mind, they just have the flowy journey. And also, don't listen to people who haven't done similar things because they are the ones who are going to put you down. And that's exactly what happened to me. And this is exactly what I hear all over. Sometimes, the sometimes a comment or whatever, don't go there, it's dangerous. I'm like, have you actually been there? No. So how would you know it's dangerous? You know how like now I'm in Venezuela. Like how many people were saying to me, do not go to Venezuela, it's a war zone. I'm like, bullshit. It's not a war zone. Like it's so safe to be in Venezuela, but it's not what you hear on the news, right? But when I listen to people who are actually in Venezuela and people who've been to Venezuela, everyone's saying like, yeah, you're gonna love it. Go, don't skip Venezuela. It's an amazing country, right? And same happened with Africa, same happened with Mexico. Oh my God, like every country I cross through, I hear how I shouldn't be doing it. And I'm like, seriously, everyone just relax. It's okay. So us just talk to people who've done it because they will tell you it's doable. I've done it. So why can't you, right?
Yeah. Do you think it all boils down to fear, I think. Like your friends and your family would have been scared on your behalf, and the people that have warned you against going to Venezuela would have been out of fear.
But some, no, but okay. So my close friends and family, yeah, it will be out of fear. But a lot of people online, they're just negative. They just have no idea what they're talking about. Hey?
I guess what I'm wondering is how often you see fear holding people back.
Oh, so often. I actually thought that if you have time and money, everyone can do it. But now I realize not everyone can do it. Even if you have all the money in the world and you have all the time in the world, you know how many people like this I've met? They retired, they have businesses or whatever they fit. It's their dream and they will never leave because they're scared. Mm. Because they listen to news, because they listen to people who haven't done similar things, and then they overanalyze too much, and that stops them from doing it, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know, Alan and I have, on our first trip, there were a couple of places we weren't sure if we were going to go to. Albania was one, and it was exactly as you described. Like people said, don't go there, your motorbike will get stolen, there's mafia, and these were the people that had never been there.
I know. Isn't it Albania the best country in Europe? I love Albania so much.
We loved it. And so I wholeheartedly agree with your tip, which is do your own research and listen to people who either live there or who have been there and get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Exactly. Hmm.
Yeah. So, Kinga, in all your adventures, your incredible adventures, what have you learnt about life or yourself from everything that you have experienced?
Don't be an asshole. That's what I've learned. Because if you're an asshole, bad things gonna happen to you. Respect, understanding, compassion will get you so much further in life. And if you have these things in your mind, stop judging, stop, well, definitely discriminate, that's one thing, but just have the compassion and understanding. You know, you see extreme poverty, don't think, oh, this is a bad country or this is dangerous or whatever. Like they weren't lucky as us, right? They weren't born in our countries. They are what they are. Just have understanding and open your heart, and then you it will be an incredible journey.
That's so simple, isn't it? But I think it's such a huge thing.
It is huge thing because as human, you know what our problem is? We cannot put ourselves in someone else's shoes. That's why we're judgmental. That's why we don't have compassion. If we had that skill naturally, imagine if we had the skill naturally that we could put ourselves in someone else's shoes and just imagine what they feel when they act, okay, when people have mental issues, where people, I don't know, they're too religious or they whatever it's beyond our understanding, right? Like, oh, like why prostitutes are prostitutes, why people are into drugs, why all these things that happen, right? There is a reason why they happen, but it's so easy to judge those people, but do we think what happened in their life that it pushed them? They are who they are. So this is our problem. If we could put ourselves in someone else's shoes, there wouldn't be wars. The world would be such a peaceful place. But we can't do that because it's just not in our nature. Naturally, we can learn that. You have to learn this. You have to be aware, but this is something you have to work towards and work all your life because it's so easy to be judgy. I think I'm much better than I was like 10 years ago. But sometimes I'm catching myself like, oh my God, Kinga, like that was a judgment in your thought. Like, why did you do that? Like, like I have to control myself, my thoughts, be mindful.
I think you are spot on. And that's one of the reasons that I love traveling to new places, unfamiliar places, because it kind of forces me to be open to, I don't know what it's going to be like. So I kind of have to be open and just kind of see and not go in with any preconceptions as much as possible. And, you know, we're humans, so of course we do that. But I think it's like, I think you're right. I think it's like a muscle. You have to use it and practice and keep practicing, and gradually you get better at it.
Yes, you have to train yourself. And you get better at it when you're traveling because you're always out of your comfort zone. You're always exposed to the new culture, and countries and all of that. So you learn so much. I really think traveling makes you a better person. Really.
Yes.
Like if you're not a better person after doing overland trip for months or years, I don't know. Like I don't know what's wrong with you, but you know what I mean. But like normally people learn so much and they have so much understanding and compassion. after a trip like that, for sure. You have to. Like you just you observe too much, you see too much. You can't be ignorant to that.
I'm going to ask you another impossible question. In all your travels, what do you love most? The riding, the roads, or the people?
Mm, okay, so it's important for both are important for me because if I just travel without the bike, it's boring. I think it's cheating. I don't think it's really traveling, to be honest. So, and even if I'm traveling on like sometimes I have projects like okay, I fly into the UK for the event and have a press bike and I'm traveling on the press bike for 2 weeks and like this is like through traveling because Chile's not with me, so it's just like cheating. This is like I don't seriously, it's just 2 weeks like of riding a bike, like no, it doesn't count. It has to be with Chile, right? Then I feel like I'm really traveling. And I have to have my old gear with me. I don't do day trips. I don't just leave my gear in a hotel and go for a week and come back. I have to be pack up and go every day in a new place, right? So if people ask me what are my favorite countries, and I would say in terms of riding or in terms of people, because people are the key to your experience in the country. If you are in a beautiful country with a lot of landscapes and great riding and great roads, and people are shitty to you, you will never like this country. But you can be in a country that is not so interesting. Actually, the roads are quite average and like on the camera, it's not gonna it's not gonna look good, but it doesn't matter. The people you met there, they were so close to your heart, they were kind to you. They you just clicked with them, right? And that's it. And that's becoming your favorite country in the whole world. So yeah, people for me, because I'm a social butterfly and I'm traveling solo because I want to meet people. So people are extremely important. The most important thing, yes, definitely prioritize people over the roads.
I love that. Thank you for being such an inspiration for women, well, for everyone, but women in particular, because
Oh,
doing what you do in the way that you do it, as you say, with respect and compassion and that positive mindset, is just brilliant to watch. Thank you. Now, if our wonderful listener is listening to this and thinking, I want to follow Kinga, where can she find you?
everywhere. I'm I'm known as on her bike on so YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's it.
So just Google on her bike, Kinga, and you'll find her. Brilliant.
That's it.
Thank you, Kinga.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a true delight. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, safe travels and keep inspiring us. It's wonderful.
Thank you.